Why does a good God allow suffering? Hallelujah. Now, we live in a world riddled with suffering, and there are poets who can describe the suffering on earth and really melt your heart. Disease, death, disaster, and personal trials. When you hear that a bus has caught fire and all 50-something or 60-something people have perished in one go, that is chilling. You hear that a bomb has landed near a hospital and innocent people, including patients and children, have died. That is chilling. And there are other types of suffering. When you are abroad, when you are out in the Western world, and you hear people describing Africa, you say, what? You can't imagine there are beautiful, smart people like you in Africa. When you are in US and someone is saying Africa is like this, like this, like this, you feel like people are suffering. People have no water to drink, they have no food, they have no clothes. They are just, they can't take a picture of you and say this is Africa. They go to some village whose school has half a roof of grass thatch and the other classroom is under the tree, and the children have come without shoes, and some of them with half-torn shirts. That's the picture they take. This is Africa, this is Uganda, and people are rent in the heart, suffering. Of course, those pictures are real pictures. There are people in Africa who are suffering much more than us. But all the suffering, of course, now for us who are here, when we hear news from the West, it is also chilling news. How people can marry a dog and these people are suffering in the head. They are just finished, confused. How they are condoning evil in broad daylight. You feel like But also suffering is in the world, and there is a problem, especially among skeptics, people who want to disprove God. They have a certain argument, they have many arguments, but they have academically crafted this one argument here, that you see, God is not there. Because if God is there, God should be good and should be powerful. But if he's there, how come there is so much suffering? It means that if he's there, he is not good enough. He can permit suffering. If he's there and he's powerful, he's not good enough. He can permit suffering. But if he's very good and he's the best, then he's not powerful enough to stop the suffering. And since God cannot be less powerful, cannot be not so good, it means he's not there. They are drawing a scientific proof that God is not there. Because if he's there, he must be both very good and powerful. But if there is so much suffering which we can see, then how can we say God is there? Maybe he is there, but he's not powerful enough, or he's not very good. So those are skeptics who are trying to disprove God, but there are answers for them. There are also believers who are suffering, and they are asking these questions. They are not skeptics, but they are so confused. They are asking, but God, why? And I think some of you have asked God that question. But God, why? You are feeling like you are against a wall and you are being pressed. God, why? That question is not a strange question, and so if you have asked it, don't feel like you have sinned against God. You are okay, and it's fine. God has no problem hearing that question from any of us. Let me not give an example of people who are single and they really look forward to getting married. And some of them get married and things are rosy and nice. But you meet some of them say, when I was single, it was better. Unfortunately for marriage, it's not like the job where you can resign and go back. Tell your neighbor, hey, some situations you can't resign and go back. So fast forward, why would Job suffer? Job's suffering, therefore, was not because of sin. It was not because he had done anything wrong to God or to his neighbor. He was righteous, upright, and a worshiper of God. So John MacArthur emphasizes that Job's suffering was not punitive, but purifying. God was not punishing Job. He was proving Job's faith and growing him spiritually. God often uses the heat of suffering to strengthen and shape our lives for his purpose. So the key truth you should be taking now is that suffering is not always connected with wrongdoing. Sometimes it's connected with righteousness.